Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce myself. My name is Melvin Berlian Amirullah. My NPM is 224111025. I'm from Management 22A class. Today I want a presentation about single data spread measure. What is a single data spread measure? A single data spread measure is a statistic used to measure the extent to which the value in a dataset are spread or dispersed. Some commonly used single data spread measures involve calculating the distance between the values in the data. The characteristic. A single data spread measure has some important characteristics that reflect the extent to which the value in a dataset are spread out. Here are some of the key features of single data spread measures. The first is sensitivity to outlier values. Range. Range is very sensitive to outlier value as it depends only on the highest and lowest value in the data. Variance and standard deviation. Both are sensitive to outlier values as they involve calculating the square deviation of each value from the mean. And then stability. Variance and standard deviation. More unstable compared to range as they involve square deviation, which can make them sensitive to fluctuation in individual values. And then units of measurement. Range. In the same unit as the data, as it is simply the difference between the highest and lowest values. Variance and standard deviation. In square units of the data, so standard deviation is used as it gives result in the same unit as the data. And then centeredness of values. The range does not provide information about the centeredness of the value in the data. The variance of standard deviation provide information on how far individual values are spread out from the mean value. And then affect the sample size. The variance affected by the sample size, while standard deviation is a more stable measure as it takes the square root of the variance. And then calculation of quartile statistic. Interquartile range or EQR. IQR. More robust to outlier value as it measures the range between the first and third quartiles. The selection of a single measure of data distribution should be adjusted to the nature of the data and the purpose of the statistical analysis being performed. For example, if the data has significant outlier value, the use of range or IQR may be more appropriate. If stability and interpretation is the same units are important, standard deviation may be a better choice. And then the benefit. Single data spread refers to statistical measures that provide information about the extent to which individual values in the data set are spread out. The benefits of a single data spread involve further understanding of the distribution of values in the data. Here are some specific benefits of using a single data spread. The first is identification of extreme values or outliers. A single data spread, such as the range or standard deviation, help in the identification of outlier or extreme value that can affect statistical analysis. This is important in detecting anomalies or abnormalities in the data. And then assessing the level of variability. A single data spread gives an idea of the level of variation or variability in the data. High variability indicates that the data values are widely dispersed, while low variability indicates that the data value tend to be close to the mean. Selection of appropriate statistical method. When planning a, uh, when planning a statistical analysis, a single data spread help, helps the research or analyze select the most appropriate statistical method. For example, if the data has high variation, a more robust analysis method may be required. And then decision planning. In the context of decision making, understanding the spread of of data help in estimating risk and uncertainties. Good decision making consider the variability to avoid error of judgment. Process or system performance evaluation. In the world of business or industry, a single data spread can be used to evaluate the performance of of a process or system. If the variability is high, it may indicate that the process or system is unstable. And then monitoring change over time. Monitoring a single data spread over time can help in identifying 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 identif- identifying changing trends or pattern in the data. This can provide insight into the evolution of phenomenon or behavior. A good understanding on the spread of single data help lead to more accurate interpretation and more valuable information from a data set. Wait a second. The conclusion. In conclusion, single data spread is an important aspect of statistical analysis that provides information about the distribution of values in a dataset. Several measures of single data spread, such as trend, variance, standard deviation, and interquartile range or IQR, provide different perspectives on data variation. Here are some important points to conclude. The range indicates the difference between the highest and lowest values in the data. Range gives a general idea of the spread of the data, but is prone to extreme values. And then variance and standard deviation measures how far the values in the data are spread out from the average value. Variance is the square deviation, while standard deviation is the square root of the variance. Both provide information about the stability of the data and the degree of variability. Interquartile range, or IQR, shows the difference between the third quartile and the first quartile. The IQR is more resistant to extreme values and gives an idea of the spread of values in the middle of the data. By understanding the spread of a single data, analysts or researchers can gain a deeper insight into the characteristic of the data distribution. This not only helps in the identification of outlier or anomalous values, but also contribute to the selection of appropriate analysis methods, decision-making planning, and monitoring of process or system performance over time. This conclusion underlines the importance of considering the distribution of single data in statistical analysis to produce more accurate interpretation and more valuable information. That's all the presentation of the material that I brought. I apologize if there is a word or pronounce I said wrong in English. And I end good night and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.